We go to video games are leaving the iPad red hot. That according to Consumer Reports. And we've got Paul Reynolds joining us from Yonkers, where he's been doing the review on this and finding that things are getting rather hot. Tell us, Paul, tell us, what did you discover about the new iPad when it comes to video games?
What we discovered was in running the new iPad and an iPad 2, both of them on a fairly demanding video game, Infinity Blade 2, that they reach temperatures, in the case of the new iPad, of up to 116 degrees Fahrenheit, which was about a dozen degrees warmer than the iPad 2. So what we think we have established is that the anecdotal reports that were out there on some forums and on some blog comments, as you know, that this was a device that runs on the hot side is in fact true, we think, based on our testing.
So I have a 4-year-old son who would basically spend all day with his iPad if he was allowed to, and would probably sleep with it. And I don't like the idea of him being next to this temperature for that long a period of time. Is it actually dangerous?
We don't think it is. You know, when you look at what's demonstrably a temperature of concern in touching a device, we some years ago used to test the temperature on the bottoms of laptops, which, as you know, had a heat problem for some time in their development until manufacturers found a way to design that away. And at that time, we deemed 120 degrees Fahrenheit to be a temperature at which we would have concerns that on bare skin for a sustained time, that could cause damage to the skin, could cause some burning. So that's a laptop with fairly continuous contact. In this case, what we have is, at least at the ambient room temperatures that we measured at, which we think are, generally when people are going to be using it, 72 degrees, we found that it's below that temperature. And as you know, the way you use a tablet is a little bit different than having it constantly in contact with your knees the way you would for a laptop.
Does that temperature do damage to the iPad itself or to the tablet itself? Because I know that on the laptop front, when they did have that heat problem, I blew through 3 because they overheated. The hard drive just blew out.
Yeah, I mean, that's, as you know, it's probably very hard to know, whether in the long term this is going to cause a problem. What we do know, of course, is that manufacturers are constantly dealing with the issues of balancing heat and performance, particularly as devices get thinner and thinner, and there is less opportunity to have ways to wick that heat away. On the other hand, by and large, I think manufacturers on the whole have been pretty successful in keeping that balance. I mean, we don't know for sure. We won't know for sure whether this causes a problem in the long run. Time will tell.
Okay, and this is just the new iPad. This is not the iPad 2. We have to leave it there. Paul Reynolds, electronics editor of Consumer Reports, coming to us from Yonkers here in New York State. Thank you very much, sir.